We have to break the silence.
We do have to break the silence.
It's like a library in here. I think because the things are packed up a little too, it's like the sound
I know.
hits the wall different.
Because, yeah, this is the last.
Maybe that's it
episode.
too. I'm like a little bit like, oh,
Not of Late to the Party,
No.
but of Late to the Party
in this
space.
Yeah. I don't know. Last times get me. I mean, I know this is your space technically.
It's goodbyes are hard.
Goodbyes are hard.
I mean, I'm really thankful for this space. Like, we started off in my old bedroom, just on the floor, and now we're here in the living room on the floor, and who knows where we'll be next time.
I know.
I don't know. Not me. Maybe we'll be in a chair.
Maybe we will.
But we will be seated, and we'll be talking about pop culture.
Yeah, we will.
Really, nothing has been going on in my life except binge watching Ally Mcbeal and packing to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been watching and packing?
I've been actually watching Ally Mcbeal to like wind down.
Yes.
My like wind down service. I'll have some
Me
like
too.
tea and I'll watch Ally Mcbeal.
I feel like this show's easy to binge.
Definitely. It's a show that I've just come to. Like, I am very late to the party on it.
Yeah.
But it is a show that certain beats are very familiar. So it is like a comfort watch of sorts.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. I have really conflicting feelings, but I think overall I like it.
Same. To be honest, the first few episodes, I wasn't so sure if I'd like it. I was a little lukewarm. I'm like, but let me see where it goes. I know there's a dancing baby at some point.
Well, that's what I told myself. I was like, I have to get to the dancing baby no matter what.
Yeah.
Because that's how I came into consciousness of this show. It's because as a kid, I grew up watching, like, I love the 90s and I love the 2000s. And all I knew about Ally Mcbeal prior to this watch was that it's a revolutionary show about women and feminism and skirt suits and, you know, the dancing baby. It's wild and bizarre, and that's what I knew.
Yeah. And I just knew about the dancing baby, and that was it.
You're like sold.
Sold, yeah. I didn't realize she was a lawyer.
It's so funny because that's in every single storyline in every single episode. She is lawyering.
She is
laying down the law, but I forget she's a lawyer. You could have told me she was anything. I was like, what's that? The law firm is just a hangout.
Yeah. And also, is she a good lawyer?
I don't know, but we'll discuss today. Let's just open the show and get into it then. Hey, it's Nikki.
And it's Brie.
And we're late to the party. Nope, I don't like that. I am a little bit
Ally Mcbeal.
like Ally Mcbeal. I would like to think that I'm a Carrie. Because this show, it is a little bit... Ally Mcbeal is a little Carrie Bradshaw
That's
coded.
what I was thinking.
Unfortunately, in my head, I think I'm in Carrie, but I am probably an Ally.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So
she's relatable in a lot of ways.
She is. She has hallucinations of dancing babies.
Just like you know.
Just like me.
I love her neuroses, though. I feel like that is relatable, just in general. Like, all the scenes where it's whatever she's thinking, you know, it comes to life.
Definitely. So, do you relate to her extreme...
Yes.
what do you even call it? It's not visions, but they're like, she imagines...
Yeah, it's like
fantastical, crazy things.
Yeah. One of my favorites is her coworker, Elaine. When she's talking, her head gets really big, like a balloon.
Yes. Or one of the scenes, she cuts to two of her coworkers and they have like the tongue out, like the Snapchat tongue.
Yes.
I mean, pre-Snapchat tongue.
The one I found most relatable is when she's in the chair and she's just like the little girl in the chair. Like, she's tiny, but the chair is huge and she's talking to all these people. To me, I'm like, oh, that's like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, that's real.
I really do relate to Ally and her neuroses.
Yeah. I love it. I love how in the show she can be unhinged. Because there's times where it's like we see these fantastical elements and then there's other times where she just lets everything out. Like, she's unfiltered and messy.
She is unfiltered and messy. She's anti-heroine for sure.
But I love her.
I love her too.
I will fight for her.
I think it's funny trying to read and trying to contextualize everything that happened in 1997 and 1998 when the show premiered. And because it is one of those things we're both truly late to the party on, and something that I don't know because I really wasn't fully alive to realize. So it's like I can't wrap my head around Ally Mcbeal culturally, like the
Yeah.
significance, but I'm really trying to. And what I will say is really brave is not her skirt suits. It's not the
It's
working
not?
girl of it all, even though
There's that.
queen. What really is brave about the show is its willingness to have the titular character who, because of like the opening for most of season 1, they're obsessed with. She's unlikable.
Yeah.
She's neurotic and unlikable and a Mary, and people loved it. People were like, slay queen, yes mama, boots down to Ally Mcbeal. And I love that. I love before Carrie Bradshaw, I guess the world was ready for a lady that visions dancing babies.
Love it. Did you have any favorite episodes?
I don't have a favorite episode per se, but I love it when Jane Krakowski sings. Anytime she gets to sing, I love.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the episode with the first dancing baby as well.
I feel like that one's iconic. It's so wacky. It's funny seeing her chase the baby around and just being like people are looking at her like she's crazy. And
I love that she is so troubled by seeing the dancing baby that it literally is something she can't stop talking about, and then she fantasizes about it more and she just spirals.
yeah,
I love a crash out. I just want to crash out with Ally Mcbeal. I love it. What is your relationship with this TV show, if any? Like I said, I did not have any before, so brand new eyes. What's your relationship?
I did not have one before this. I only knew of the dancing baby, and now I feel like it is one of those shows that I could see myself watching to go to sleep, you know? Like
definitely.
A comfort show and just chill out. But yeah, I really didn't know anything going into it. I didn't know the cultural context or
Same.
the impact of the skirt suits and all that good stuff.
I'm trying to wrap my head around it, but apparently, which I always got wrong, in my head, I totally thought Ally Mcbeal invented feminism. I saw that Time magazine cover and I was like, oh yeah, Gloria Steinem, Susan B. Anthony, Ally Mcbeal. She's a feminist icon.
She's right up there with Susan B. Anthony.
And now that I've seen the show and now that I've read that article, that is not what they were saying at all. Did Ally Mcbeal destroy feminism?
Oh yeah.
Maybe we should unpack that. Maybe we shouldn't. It is a fun show regardless.
Definitely. I know. I feel like there are certain moments in certain episodes where it's like, oh, okay, that was maybe not handled the best way. Or, you know, like the episode where there's like a mail delivery girl. And it's very similar to, you know, we just watched Sex and the City.
Mm-hmm. Well, always watching Sex and the City.
Yeah. But the second movie, Charlotte's nanny. She's very Charlotte's nanny coded.
The white Irish
t-shirt.
nanny.
The Irish nanny. Yeah.
Yeah, Allie is a little bit of a prude. She's a little bit of a Mary.
Yeah. And I forget what my point was, but.
Oh, Ally Mcbeal and feminism.
Yeah.
Like, I think that Ally Mcbeal is to feminism what Taylor Swift's The Man is to feminism. Like, with Taylor Swift and her song The Man, it like came out in 2019 and...
It was a little late.
It was a little late to the party on the whole concept of if I was a man, you know, then I'd be the man. She kind of was late to that boat. But nevertheless, she was there and people resonated with it. An anthem.
That Vonda Shepherd song, that intro song.
Oh my God, can we talk about the theme song?
It's very good. I mean, I enjoy it. I like that Vonda Shepherd is this... I don't really know who she is.
No.
You know, I've never heard of this lady before, but she is a titular character and
she is like Ally Mcbeal's version of like Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Like what Julie Cruz was to Twin Peaks. This is what Vonda Shepherd is to Ally Mcbeal.
Yeah, like every episode she does the intro song. Mm-hmm. She's there at the jazz club or wherever they hang out, whatever that is.
Her music's sprinkled through all the scenes.
Yeah, when she's like walking down the streets of Boston.
Which good depiction of Boston?
I think so. I mean, I've only been the once.
I'm like, you're Bostonian.
I know. I almost wore my sweatshirt, but I didn't want to jinx myself.
Boston.
I would think, but I don't know about how it is out there as far as like living in the city, you know,
and being a lawyer.
And being a lawyer,
do you know
like
about
the corporate
that?
environment.
Do you know about unisex bathrooms?
That part was interesting.
And how the people in this law firm spend a crazy amount of time in this bathroom. Mm-hmm. This unisex bathroom, progressive, but they spend all their time gossiping.
Yes, it's the
in the
girls'
bathroom.
room.
It really is the girls' room.
Even the guys gossiping.
All of them.
I love when like they're gossiping about someone and they're just in the next stall.
Always.
And then they
Without
flush
fail.
and come out.
Even into season 2, and I'm assuming through season 5, there will also be people hiding in the bathroom while they gossip.
Have you ever said anything to someone like in a bathroom or something about someone and or I don't know.
Maybe not in a bathroom, but definitely. I've definitely been talking shit about someone and they've been
Not in
there.
the bathroom.
What about you?
I feel like there was a time, but not like I was gossiping necessarily, but I think I thought someone was you and it wasn't. And then they came out and I was embarrassed.
Oh, that's always. I'm always in the bathroom thinking I'm talking to you
Yeah,
or like someone else. and it's-
Continue a conversation about something.
Definitely.
What do you think? There's silence.
I've already left.
But yeah, it's always like you're, yeah.
Because I'm ready to get out of there. Maybe unlike the cast of Ally Mcbeal, I use the restroom and I dip. Let's not fraternize in the bathroom, y'all.
I'm like, let's,
Let's talk.
yeah.
But back to the theme song.
Mm.
Wild theme song. I was not prepared. First episode, season 1, just knowing nothing about Ally Mcbeal except the dancing baby, and she's a young woman. That theme song got me. And it took a whole season to get me on board. But now I'm a Vonda Shepard stan.
Yeah.
I love the theme song.
I love the theme song too. I don't know what it is.
I know what it is. And I think I know why you like it too.
Okay. It'd be crazy if we have the same idea.
Let's say it at the same time.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. It sounds like Touched by an Angel.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
I knew
I couldn't get the words out fast enough.
Walk with you.
Yeah, it is very Walk With You.
Where's Roma Downey?
Yeah.
What's her name that I thought sang the Touched by
One
an
that
Angel
plays
theme
Tess,
song?
but I also thought she was saying
Della Reese.
Yeah.
Oh, R.I.P.
I know.
Is
That
she
was
dead?
I don't know.
I said that with so much confidence, but
I feel like that's just
Roma Downey's
go.
alive, right? What happened to them?
I think she was doing like St. Jude commercials and those kind of things.
Sorry, I'm like, I have to find out what
I feel
happened
like I
to
need to
Della
find-
Reese. She did pass away in
Aw.
2017.
Okay.
R.I.P. Queen. Roma Downey is still alive and kicking. She's only 64. Oh, wow. She's married to Mark Burnett, who produced Survivor and The Apprentice. So take that what you will.
Thank you, Nick.
And, oh, wow. And John Dye, who played the guy.
The male angel?
Yeah, he died in January 2011 at the age of 47.
Wow.
So R.I.P. Unless he was really problematic. And then, oh, wow. He died from an accidental acute methamphetamine intoxication. Gracious.
This is how I picture you laying in bed when you're doing your like your Wikipedia tickles.
While I'm watching Ally Mcbeal, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Pretty much, actually.
Yeah.
Because like I told you, I will go through the years in movies, and sometimes I'll click on a movie I've never seen or that I remember and have nostalgia for, and then I'll like go down the list of actors and I'll be like, they're dead?
You know, speaking of like rabbit holes, I looked into the creator of this show.
Oh, David E. Kelly.
Yeah, David E. Kelly. Did you know, for one, he's married to Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes.
And
which
He locked it down.
He locked it down and locked in because Michelle Pfeiffer, I mean, nothing needs to be said.
No.
Not even on a podcast.
I was impressed. I was like, damn, you got Michelle Pfeiffer? Okay.
That is actually the biggest flex on the planet, to be married to Michelle Pfeiffer.
Right? And also he created Boston Legal, which I haven't really watched, but I heard of.
I've heard of it.
And he was a lawyer himself in Boston. He was
Really?
Yeah, so I bet the show has some real tea in there.
Do you think David E. Kelly fancies himself as an ally?
I
Or does he relate
I'd
to,
like to think-
Gil Bellows? Like, who is he? Is he Jane Krakowski? Did he sing? Or is he like the problematic boss?
maybe. Or is he like Peter McNichol?
Oh, which one's that one?
The biscuit? The really like awkward one who's like
Yeah.
into science.
I was going to say the nerd.
The nerd.
The dweeb.
Yeah. That one. But also David E. Kelly. You know what he created that we love?
Big Little
Yeah.
Lies.
Yeah.
Which is all I knew about David E. Kelly going into this. And since Ally Mcbeal is one of those shows that everyone, you know, that's like Gen X or older is like, oh, this is a show that revolutionized TV. David E. Kelly, this is him. Well, it ain't no Big Little Lies, but that's okay.
I know, yeah. The level of drama isn't quite that much, but I don't know. I feel like the show, for like, it definitely got better. I really wasn't convinced until the Pringles episode. I feel like that's where it got kind of nasty.
Ooh.
You know? Like, that's where it got, like, a little more... Like, I feel like Ally Mcbeal is just kind of like, I'm sad. Oh, I'm working with my ex. I lost my job. Being a female lawyer in a man's world. And then, like, she's like, yeah, I'm going to trip a lady over Pringles. And that's when I was sold. And then, because she goes to court over, or, like, they have, like, maybe it's not a hearing exactly, but it's, like, some type of, like, they're going to maybe suspend her.
Mm-hmm.
And she has to come in front of the board and plead her case.
I love that Ally doubles down
Uh-huh.
on the silliest things.
Yeah.
And I love her for it because I really genuinely relate to it.
Mm.
But I also love that, yeah, you're right. Like halfway through season 1, they're like, oh yeah, you think she's unlikable now? Wait until she trips the woman. Or, you know what I mean? Like she just locks in.
Mm-hmm. I love the episode too where she reverse Snow White's the man that he like passes out. It's like the other defense attorney or something. He's like a big fella, comes in, passes out. Do you remember? She like gives him mouth to mouth.
Oh, I vaguely remember.
And then he falls in love with her.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
gonna get married, and she ruins their wedding, and she gives him all the advice.
Is this the one where she's fat phobic?
Yeah, where she's fat phobic. Yeah, there's a lot of things where she's like she's anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
fat phobic.
Is she transphobic or is she an ally?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm confused.
Well, I think she's an ally, but
like a 1997 ally,
like a 97 ally. Yeah. But also, it's like, yeah, it is weird looking at things of the time at that time, you know, because you're like, oh, I guess the only way to not go to jail is to plead insanity. That's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, times have really changed. I'm learning from Ally Mcbeal. Like when we're like, okay, boomer about things, you know, maybe we should give them grace because, like Ally, they might not have heard this stuff before. Maybe they're still calling people transvestites,
right?
You know. And we got to meet them where they are.
True.
Or not, because it's been
just
30 fucking years.
Yeah. I think just correct people at this point.
Yeah, I actually don't know. I'm trying to give them grace.
But maybe in that time, yeah. But now I think, yeah.
It's so crazy because Ally Mcbeal, progressive for the time, perhaps?
Yeah. A little bit.
Where's our Gen X correspondent to just like zero in? Because it is really hard from a 2025 lens, you know?
I know. Even like the episode where like the mail girl, she comes in, delivers the mail, doesn't wear a bra. Basically, the women in the office are upset by this because the men are ogling her, but it's really the men's problem.
Yeah.
And instead of taking it up with them, they like sign a petition to get her fired, which is pretty messed up.
It's
which
ridiculous.
They kind of admit in the next episode. But, you know, that episode itself, you're kind of like, what? What's happening?
There are a lot of episodes where all the gals gang up on another woman.
Yeah.
Like in season 2, when Lucy Liu comes in, I've only seen a couple eps so far, but all of them hate her. And the one of the beautiful blonde,
Elaine?
Courtney Thorne-Smith's character, the Barbie, the beautiful one.
Georgia,
yes. She's upset at Lucy Liu because she fancies herself the most attractive person in the office.
Because she's been called the Barbie.
Because she is, like, objectively a very attractive woman. Also very me-coded, just to get really upset about something that doesn't even exist. But she's upset that she's not the fairest of them all anymore. And then Ally Mcbeal, like, to your point, is in the bathroom and overhears her saying this and then gets really offended. So
I haven't made it to season 2. So what is going on? Because the cast, when you look up this show and you look up the cast, there's a lot of star-studded people.
Well, I haven't gotten to Robert Downey Jr. yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So it's Robert Downey. Like, the people that they claim to be... Well, I mean, I say claim, but I'm sure they're in the cast.
Allegedly.
I'm just because I haven't seen it.
It's
I'm
just
like
your legal terminology. You have to be like, allegedly.
Allegedly, they're in the cast. Lucy Liu, Robert Downey Jr., who else did I notice?
Portia de Rossi's in it.
Right? That's great. And she's like, I guess a reoccurring character too, right?
All of a sudden, she was just in it. I don't remember the storyline when we meet her, but
Christina Ricci?
Oh, really?
Says she's in there. Just saying. Lisa Edelstein? She was in that House show. If you ever watched that? No. Oh. Well, maybe that was all. Maybe Hayden Panettiere?
Oh, really?
That's what it says.
Oh, young Hayden Panettiere?
Yeah. It says Betty White was there. I wonder if she was like just like a guest or something, or.
And then of course we have Callista Flockhart as Ally Mcbeal.
Oh yeah,
who I know because she's married to Harrison Ford.
Oh, I know that.
And that's the only thing I know about her. And this is the only thing I've seen her in, but I know she's married to Harrison Ford.
Huh. This is the only thing I know of her. Oh, Jane. Oh, wait, we already talked about Jane Krakowski a little, didn't we?
She's great.
Yeah,
I
love
we
her.
could talk about her more. I love her too. She's my favorite character.
I think about her and like Kimmy Schmidt.
Yes, and 30 Rock.
I never watched 30 Rock.
I think you'd really enjoy it.
I saw a lot of clips and GIFs. I feel like I would.
I think you'd really like it.
Yeah.
Especially her as Jenna Maloney. Jenna Malone. I always get the character in 30 Rock that Jane Krakowski plays and the girl that's in like Saved and the Hunger Games. I get them confused. Sorry, I'm like, now I have to Google it.
I like Jane Krakowski.
I do too. Jenna Maroney. But then Jenna Malone. Okay, that's why.
Okay, yeah, very close.
Very, very close. Anyways,
I just thought that was interesting. The cast, like, there's some notable people in the cast.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I wonder at the time, like, for their careers, is this like a big moment,
I wonder. I don't know. I think this show was big, from my understanding.
Do you feel like it's been swept under the rug? Because I feel like a lot of my life, I've never heard of Ally Mcbeal. And then just like, bam, all of a sudden, it was like, it appeared.
I think so, in a way. Like, I've only heard it in certain contexts. Like, I've seen on TV or whatever, people will reference Ally Mcbeal. But I've never really, like, seen much more than that. I wonder. Maybe it's one of those things, like, that were just a product of us. Yeah. And it was just maybe like one of those things that was like of its time and then we move on. It's not something that maybe
like The Nanny.
Well, some people are still at the restaurant, Brie. I am, like, so to speak. There's a Taylor Swift song called I think This Is Me Trying, or one of her songs from Folklore. And she's like, I'm still at the restaurant, meaning she's still there. Everyone moved on.
But she's still at the restaurant. There. I got you. So are we just still at the restaurant with The Nanny just personally?
I don't think so, because if anything in our comments suggest, there are people like us and even younger, like Gen Z knows The Nanny.
Yeah.
It's iconic. I don't know if Ally Mcbeal's hitting that. I don't think that Ally Mcbeal is going to get like the Gen Z Carrie Bradshaw treatment.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably from what we've already talked about. Like, I know
because it doesn't age as well a little bit.
Like, I know for me, it's like one of those things like I'll put on and I'll be like, oh, this is such a different time. Global cafe aesthetic, something like that. Oh, look at her in a skirt suit dancing with a baby, you know?
Which I didn't even realize, like, the skirt, like, having a short skirt. It didn't even compute to me that was a big deal, because I think we've seen that style for so long.
Iconic style.
Yeah. I didn't realize the show paved the way for that.
What's interesting about the wardrobe, okay, so that it was a collaboration between Flockhart, the show's producer, and the costume department. And according to Ally Mcbeal's set costumer, Juliet Hyde-White, the decision was simple. Don't you know the real reason to show off Ally's great legs? There was nothing like that show ever, first of its kind. So I had to catch the audience's attention. That's my opinion.
Had to show them all the legs.
Doesn't really help their case.
I know. I'm like, that's the reason. Okay.
Well, I would say my argument for wearing a skirt suit, one, Ally Mcbeal's a very petite lady.
She is, yeah.
A long pencil skirt would swallow her.
Yeah.
And
it would look matronly.
Yes, it would cut off her legs, make her look stumpy. Can't go for that. Also, she's young. She's 28.
Yeah. And she wears like the big blazers. Like, it all works. Like, her silhouette works.
And she loves to dance.
Mm-hmm.
She can't dance with a pencil skirt that's like midi length.
That's true.
You gotta free the stems.
And I never thought it was unprofessional.
No. Except I have worked at an office. I've temped.
Yeah.
And I currently
weigh
work
in
an office.
on this, Nick.
Not allowed.
Not allowed?
Mini skirts not allowed. And it breaks my heart.
Only in the 90s.
Only in the 90s. Only if you're an office siren baddie in a 2000s movie like The Devil Wears Prada. But in real life, unbeknownst to me, you can't wear mini skirts and like Ally Mcbeal style suit skirts to the office.
Wow.
I've tried.
You've tried, and what, they tell you to go home and change?
Sent home.
Are they like that old guy who's like,
First
I
week.
want pants?
100%. So maybe we need to rethink it. It's really funny though. I relate to my core to, you know, on the internet, people have been talking about, they've been trying the office siren look out at work and then getting sent home and in trouble and reprimanded.
Seriously?
Yeah, and I get it. I thought an office job, I'd wear some skirt suits.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you get an office job.
So you can look cute.
Is so you can wear a matching mini skirt suit like Ally Mcbeal.
I agree.
And the fact that you can't, don't work
in 2025,
revolt.
we have gone backwards.
We really have as a society.
It's disappointing.
Yeah. Maybe we need Ally Mcbeal again. Maybe the 90s were too progressive. Maybe now we need to be reminded, you know, with all like the stuff going on politically now. Maybe we need to be reminded that we can wear skirt suits.
Yeah. People need to just know their history.
Yeah. But okay. So for the uninitiated, Ally Mcbeal is a quirky, often surreal legal comedy drama from the late 90s, early 2000s, focusing on the personal and professional life of a young, neurotic female lawyer, played by Callista Flockhart as the titular Ally. Which, concept-wise, especially first season, the big plot point is she is a young lawyer who is at a firm with her ex. Very Legally Blonde coded, if you ask me. Do you think that Ally Mcbeal inspired Legally Blonde?
I think a little bit, yeah. With the skirt suits, and Elle Woods just, you know, being a really determined person. I could see that. Yeah.
Or like the storyline is very similar.
Oh, because their ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, is at the law firm.
That's a
and they
good
have to work together, just like Ellen Warner.
That's a really good point. You know what? Maybe they were inspired. She doesn't end up with the ex-boyfriend though, does she? In Legally Blonde, right? She goes with
Luke Wilson.
Yeah, Luke Wilson, the superior choice.
Yes. I don't know who Ally will end up with.
I know.
If any. I don't know. I feel like Ally needs to be single forever.
Yeah, I do feel like she should take some time because, well, the episode I just watched, she's like dating her boss, you know, which I mean, it didn't go well or anything, but she, you know, it's like, I feel like that crosses a line, you know?
They're doing a lot of this.
They're doing a lot of this. And then it does, you know, her ex-boyfriend is now married and now they're like, his wife is also working at their firm.
Georgia, the beautiful Barbie.
So they all are like, yeah, they're mixing, you know. It's just, that's messy.
It's very messy.
But it's crazy, too, because, like, her and Georgia get along so well in a lot of ways.
Which adds to the mess. Very much like Vivian and Elle in Legally Blonde. You know?
Yes.
You think they're going to fight over the man, and then
they don't. I kind of like that.
That's kind of feminism, though.
Yeah. I like that aspect. When they have their girls' night, they can all go to that, like, sculpting class.
Yes. That's what bonds them. The well-endowed life model. Or what do they call them?
I like oh yeah, when they stand in and what is that called? Like
I've seen those listings before. I've seen that Indeed.
Yeah.
Moving art model.
Yeah, there's a word for it that it's escaping me.
That's okay.
But he's naked.
He is naked, and then they all bond, and then they're besties forever.
Yeah. Renee cracked me up too.
She's
her
my favorite.
Sculpture.
She's my favorite character.
Yeah, she keeps it real.
She does.
She tells Ally what's what.
They all sing too.
Yes.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the friendships and how they all meet at the bar every, you know, like, because every one of these like sitcoms, especially like in the 90s, 2000s, there's like a hangout. There's like Central Perk, or there's
Luke Steiner,
or in New Girl, they hang out at the bar.
That's true. I like it. I like that it is a little weird though that it's just the one artist that's always singing. You know, like Vonda Shepard, like she is booked and busy at this place.
Yeah. She like lives at that bar.
Yeah. I feel like that's like maybe a little unrealistic, but I do like that they're always having a good time and catching up or like going up to tell jokes or just getting into shenanigans. Or there's like the twins that are there that they dance with sometimes. It's like a running thing.
And they're always singing. Like Renee sings sometimes.
Mhm.
Jane Krakowski sings sometimes.
Yeah. You just never know, I guess, what you're going to get
At the bar.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't even know what that club's called. They just kind of show up there.
Yeah. They like infiltrate the bar every night or every couple nights.
Yeah.
You know, contextually, I wonder if this show ran on Fox, right? What if it's like the 90s version of New Girl? You know, because I remember this show did really remind me of New Girl in a certain
She's so
light.
quirky.
Because, maybe so quirky and kind of how the episodes are set up. Maybe how, like, it's very, like, they all kind of run together. Like, shenanigans happen every time, but there is, like, a continuous storyline with love interests weaving in and out. And, like, the quirky girl.
And she has a roomie.
They're, like, and they're, like, all interwoven into each other's lives. Like, Schmidt and Winston and all them. You know how
because
they
go off and sometimes they'll live together here. Like, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I can relate to it in that way. Because I watched New Girl when it came out religiously. So maybe that's just my Ally Mcbeal.
Is New Girl.
Yeah. Or like the fact that, you know, like Fox isn't one of those networks that I think of when I think of like female sitcoms and feminism. But, you know, with New Girl, also on Fox, it was like this phenomenon of sorts. You know?
Yeah. Which I think I was a little late to the party on New Girl, but I love New Girl.
Yeah. Did you come into New Girl like during this, like streaming it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I went in and out. Like I watched it when it first came out in real time because it came on after Glee and I was a Gleek. So
You globbed on.
I globbed on a little bit, but I love New Girl way more. It holds up way more than Glee. There are a lot of storylines in Ally Mcbeal that, like, I don't know for a fact, but they seem ripped from the headlines. Like, there's this one episode in season 1 where they allude to, like, Monica Lewinsky. Like, they have a certain situation like that. I forget which one. But they mention it in the Time article, so maybe I'm getting my wires crossed. But, you know,
like a man dating a younger woman or...
Yeah, and, like, power imbalances and thruples.
And prostitution is another theme that comes up here and there.
Yeah, they have, you know, a trans character.
Yeah. Which that episode kind of got me surprisingly in the field. Like that episode was crazy.
Yeah.
It like takes you on a journey and then you think a new character is like added or something. Cause, well, like at first, I think their name was Stephanie. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
that seems right.
But Stephanie is like arrested for the third time, I guess.
Because they're working hard for the money.
And yeah. And that's illegal, you know, apparently. So unfortunately, yeah. I was reading somewhere about like the legalities of prostitution. I think it was after watching Anora. I put my lower hat on and I was just thinking, oh, it's interesting. Like, I think I don't know if the law is the same now or if it's like the pimps or whoever's like in charge of the prostitution ring gets in trouble, but not the girls now. So I think, or that's what they're saying should be the way it is.
It should be, but if you're like working the street, the cop stops you. Like they're not gonna stop they're not gonna be like, oh, where's the pimp and locate him, right? They're gonna arrest the person that is right in front of their eyes.
Yeah, that's true. Take me to your pimp.
Yeah, they're not gonna be like, come on in, sweetie, let's go to your pimp. Beep beep.
Yeah.
Maybe though.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I believe that cops will just give you a warning most times, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to test it out.
No, definitely not.
But this episode, I feel like it's wild because it like I don't know. It has like highs and lows. And then they like there's like a trans character that's like, oh, okay, well now they're working at the law firm. That's great.
Oh yeah, because Ally, gets them a job at the law firm.
Yeah, which was nice. And then, bam, at the end of the episode, dead on the streets.
Yeah. That did get me. Maybe that's the episode that turned it around for me as far as Ally Mcbeal. Because it's one of the first episodes where Ally is like faced with something very real. It's not just like her weird, like plucky, like everything is going to be all right.
Yeah.
You know, like there were like a real life consequence. And it wasn't just because Ally is someone that has main character syndrome.
Yes.
And I guess one of the geniuses of David E. Kelley is the fact that he wrote this character with like chronic main character syndrome. And in like in an episode, like the trans episode, like she has to confront her privilege, I guess, in a way that's interesting.
Yeah. She can see like this person doesn't have it easy.
And then she thinks it's going to solve it all by giving them a job, and then boom.
But it didn't.
They die. So
guess that's life.
Yeah.
You can't always save people. I don't know. It was definitely sad.
Think of how progressive. See, this is where my 2025 mind goes. So I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if that character got to work at the law firm and they were up against, you know, having a trans person work at the law firm? That's where I thought they were going
to go with it, because I was like, oh, wow, I don't remember seeing this person like in the credit, like on the cast. So I'm like, oh, you know, maybe they're here for a couple episodes. I don't know. But I didn't expect that. Like, it was a whirlwind.
Yeah. It was a little Law and Order.
It was.
As far as, yeah. Which, speaking of Law and Order, I know it's not exactly the same, but since Ally Mcbeal is like a pseudo legal drama, are you, and since you're well versed in the Law and Order universe, which makes you a lawyer by association,
after you watch enough episodes of Law and Order, you become a lawyer.
You are essentially Ice-T.
I've studied the bar now.
Yes. What are your thoughts on legal dramas, and I don't know, how does it compare to other legal dramas?
I love legal dramas.
Dun, dun.
Most specifically Law and Order. I think
dun, dun.
To be honest, outside of the Law and Order universe, I haven't really seen a lot of other, like I've watched some CSI Miami here and there, and I like it, but not as much as Law and Order, specifically Law and Order SVU, just because of the characters. But I have watched the original Law and Order. I've seen some Criminal Intent. I've seen, oh man, what's that other show? Is it the Left Wing or the Right Wing?
Oh, the West Wing.
The West Wing. Okay. Yeah, I've seen some of the West Wing like a long time ago. But what was the question? Oh, just how does it compare
to legal dramas or other legal dramas?
I feel like Ally Mcbeal is a lot lighter because it's pretty funny and like comedic. Even though I will say the show is a little confusing, and this is like at the beginning of watching the show confused me a bit. It's like the tone, because the humor is not always laugh out loud, but sometimes there's some moments that are, for me, like the Pringles moment for me that made me like audibly like ah, like there's some moments that'll just really get me like that in Law and Order that you do not laugh. You know what I mean?
No way.
You know, I mean, except the occasional, you know, like I guess John Mulaney's impression of Ice-T is pretty accurate. It makes me laugh. But
but not like actually in the show. Yeah, there's not a lot of.
No, it's a lot more like that one episode with the trans kid who, like, you know, unfortunately they find, you know.
What's cool about Ally Mcbeal, though, I will say, is its willingness to dabble in genre and have these like surreal moments and then have comedy. And, you know, Ally is a character inherently like unserious, and it's not being anti-feminist. She is just an unserious character.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes when she's being a lawyer, she's very unserious.
Yeah, there's some moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, you almost lost this case. Like there's several times where she'll like just, I guess, you know, run her mouth or whatever. But it's like, oh girl, you should have taken a moment. But then it always seems to work out for her in the end. She always like creates a mistake and then like fixes it.
Definitely.
It made me think of That's So Raven a little bit, you know? Just
Ally Mcbeal paved the way for Raven Simone.
Just getting hijinks and misbehaving.
Definitely. And Ally Mcbeal does have visions, just of a dancing baby.
Yeah.
Which, can we talk about this dancing baby?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I love this baby. I mean, I wish I hallucinated a dancing baby sometimes.
It gives me nightmares to think about this dancing baby, but also now that I've seen it in the context, which still makes zero sense. But that baby's a vibe.
Yeah. I mean, did you see his dance moves? He's like,
the baby has great dance moves. The baby's the baby is my favorite character of the show. Like, hands down. Immaculate vibes, no notes for this dancing baby.
yeah, he can get it.
He really can.
He's all he wants to do is dance. You know? What's wrong with that?
Right beside us, just dancing baby.
Just put him right here.
Yeah, everywhere we go, dancing baby.
No, I love that. I mean, it doesn't have to make sense, I guess. I wonder if it's recurring, though. Like, does he pop up? Like, because he was in a couple episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Or she would hear the music to kind of indicate he's around.
Because they're ready to play Hooked on a Feeling.
I know. Which makes me think of Shrek when they sometimes,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So.
Did Ally Mcbeal pave the way for Shrek, too?
I think so, yeah.
1 and 2.
1 and 2, definitely.
I like the baby. I like the baby a lot more than I thought.
I know. To be honest, I thought the baby was going to be like throughout. Like, it was really difficult because I think it's like episode 50. Is it 50 or 12 maybe?
No, it's
But
a long journey to
Yeah,
get to
you
him.
have to. It is. And no one tells you that when it's your first watch. But,
Yes.
yeah, it was worth it.
Nightmare fuel, perhaps, but I do like the dancing baby.
Yeah.
Oh, so we talked about it a little bit before, but there are like certain themes in Ally Mcbeal. Like, you know, she tries to, you know, balance her work and personal life and her female friendships, especially with all her female coworkers.
Yeah.
And her like slightly hostile relationship with her best friend Renee.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
She's like, how dare you say all those things?
I know Renee is just down for a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. I like her.
Justice for Renee.
Yeah, she's a good friend.
Good friend.
I wonder I kind of want to know more about her. We don't really, you know, well, she's a defense attorney
Mm-hmm.
and they're roommates.
She has an immaculate singing voice.
Yes, she really does. Probably the best one out of all the
100%.
girls, you know, other than Vonda Shepard, of course.
Oh, no, I think Renee tops.
Yeah.
Even though the theme song has grown on me.
But I feel like I want to know more about her. Like, what's her story?
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments in Ally Mcbeal is when they do the penguin to that one guy.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
What was the penguin again?
It's when you get someone to pull down their pants and walk around with their pants down and waddle. That was wild.
Do you think we could get someone to penguin?
I don't know. I feel like we have to first have a reason. I don't know if you should just penguin, well, like just for laughs and get your like night vision binoculars.
Yeah.
But just like prank some people.
I'd love to like pants someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a prank.
We could probably pull it off if we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should. But yeah, Ally also deals with her neuroses and like the working girl of it all. What were some themes with the show that resonated and which were some that don't quite resonate?
What resonated most for me is probably just like all her inner thoughts and like visual. Like there's times where it's like I'll be at work, you know, someone says something to me and I'm like, it may not be exactly like Elaine, like her head getting huge, but it might just be more like the teacher in, you know, the Peanuts, where it's like womp womp womp. That's like my visualization. Like I don't know, the little things like that. I think I have a vivid imagination, you know,
Like a Lizzie McGuire style animated character in her head.
Yes, I feel like that resonates with me. I'm trying to think what else though.
The way that Ally or the show depicts female friendships is a very interesting way. It's like they're all friends, but there's like inherent competition.
Yeah,
Mainly because, hot take, but you should not be best friends with your coworkers like that.
yeah, it does kind of blur a line. I mean, that's why I wonder, like, if her and Renee were they already friends and they just happened to
Yes.
work in
They
this
have-
That's what I'm guessing.
Well, because
they seem like good friends.
The first episode, they know each other already.
Yeah,
and
they
that's
say they're
when
best
she
friends.
joins the law firm. Which how did they become best friends?
That's what I'm saying. I want to know more about their story. I mean, I feel like that their friendship's relatable. But yeah, everything else, I feel like. I mean, while I like that she gets along really well with Georgia and even Elaine, but the Georgia aspect, like that part is a little confusing because I don't know. You can tell that they both, they admit that they hate. Maybe that's all you have to do. Maybe it's trying to say something like just be upfront.
Admit that you hate each other and then you can move on with your lives.
Yeah.
Maybe, actually.
And then maybe be best friends.
Maybe. They did kind of have that stepbrothers moment. I don't exactly know when, but the vibe
out on the lawn
shifted to be like, did we just become best friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's like a lot of the female stuff, like the relationships with any other female that Ally comes into contact with. There is this like inherent sense of competition that I find very interesting. And not saying that it's not real.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that every single female,
it's a little heightened.
Yeah, or like every single female Ally meets, she is insecure and has a complex about. But then also every male she meets,
she also has a complex.
Yeah.
She has a complex about everything.
She really does.
Oh, yeah. Like the guy she goes out with and he has salad dressing on his chin and she just can't stand it.
She gets the ick, which did this invent the ick? Did David E. Kelley invent the ick?
I think the show might have invented the ick.
Wow. Like how Alanis Morissette's song, what is it? Head Over Feet coined the term friends with benefits.
Oh, shoot. Did it really?
Allegedly.
I believe it.
According to the internet.
I believe it. That's
so
crazy.
Did David E. Kelley invent the ick?
The ick. Yeah, because she literally says the ick about that one. Like, that's crazy.
That's a little bit of, a lot of this like late state, like third wave feminism, I do not know. But what I do know is getting the ick.
Yeah.
What is the weirdest or like most innocuous ick that you've ever gotten?
Like
a salad dressing on the chin.
I'm thinking. I mean, I will say sometimes I just don't like people's faces. I know that that's really harsh.
Just by their aura.
But if
you're like, I got the ick.
Yeah, sometimes. Like, there's people I come in contact with sometimes. That
I
I'm
just
like,
picture someone walking through the doors and you're just like,
yes,
enough.
There's someone in particular. I can't say, but
who?
You might know.
Bleep it out.
Just bleep it out.
Yes. He gives me the ick.
He gives me the ick. Just like the weird, I don't know, just everything about his vibe, his demeanor. I'm always like, please don't talk to me.
I feel like I'm not someone that gets the ick easily, but I say that yet I'm sure. Like I've gone on dates where
you've gotten the ick.
I've gotten the ick. I just don't know if it's necessarily been like a, salad dressing on the chin ick. Like to your point, I've gotten the ick and they've just like sat down. Just the way they sat down.
Ew, the way you sat down, I didn't like that.
It
so
deeply disturbed me.
You like just sit down for the date and you're like, I gotta go.
You know what? I've maybe this isn't super innocuous, but I went on a date with a guy who had a really weird tattoo and that gave me the ick. It was like this really sweet guy that I met for like a date at a wine bar, and then we went on the beach and like talked about aliens, and then I never saw him again.
Oh.
But he had like a weird tattoo of like a house, but it was like disturbing.
Like a deteriorating house or something?
I forgot exactly what it was now, but it was just like a creepy tattoo. And I wasn't into that.
Gotcha. Gave you the ick.
It gave me the ick. That's all.
But
But honestly, it could just be the way they sit or the way their hair is parted. Like
this doesn't have to be explained. It's just you just get it.
I get the aura X.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Which I don't know what is worse, because it is very terrible to like be like, I just don't like your vibes, therefore you give me the ick, versus something that like a true ick, where if like someone was on a date with you and you had something stuck in your teeth and they noticed,
but they didn't say anything.
Well, or maybe they did, but they got the ick from it.
Oh,
it's like something undescribable. Rude. Yeah. But that's what a real ick is, like something undescribable, like something they did and you're just like turned off forever.
That's true. I just don't think the salad dressing, I don't think that was all that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I also think, okay, maybe I'm projecting though, but I feel like when people are sloppy eaters, I think it's kind of cute. But it may be because I'm also a sloppy eater and I don't want to be judged.
I always think about the way Ashton Kutcher describes Natalie Portman's character in No Strings Attached is like she's like a little gerbil. Either a little dinosaur or a little gerbil when she eats her food.
Yeah.
Or a little hamster. And I feel like that's how I eat.
Yeah.
So
kind of. But is that bad?
I know. Is it bad?
How did he say?
I mean, to him it was cute.
Okay.
He didn't get the ick.
Yeah.
But
maybe it depends on the person too. It's like one person. I wonder if it's like, you know. I think about like Miranda in Sex and the City when she had the braces and that guy gets the ick when she.
Okay, well, yes. However, I know if he really liked her, he would not get the ick about the food stuck in the braces. However, I would also get the ick. Like, but not even just the ick. I think that like visually, like an adult with braces for one.
That gives you the ick in general.
That might, I think the ick doesn't exist for real. I think if you really like someone, a lot of things that would be deemed an ick, you would find endearing, to your point, or not even notice. But I think the ick is something, it's undescribable.
If it's someone you don't know very well, you're on a first date.
It builds, though. I think it's like a base level of energy that you don't like them. And whether you want to subconsciously or consciously admit that or not.
Okay, yeah.
Is a factor. Because, you know, if you really liked them, it wouldn't be an ick.
Right.
It's like Jenga, maybe.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
The ick is like Jenga, and there's obviously a base. It's just the one taking out the one Jenga piece that like disrupts it all.
Dang.
The salad on the chin.
Which this is a little off topic, but did you see the trailer for there's like a new Final Destination movie?
Really?
And that's what happens is someone takes something out of the Jenga and then it sets a whole slew of events to happen in someone's backyard and someone steps on glass. Like it's like insane.
Jenga did that? It
started it Someone was playing Jenga. So think about that next time you play Jenga.
So wait, really? That's the concept. It wasn't the first Final Destination about something that happened on a plane. He gets a vision.
Yeah.
That's a Raven vision.
Yeah.
But this time it's Jenga?
Yeah, this time, well, it all relates, I guess, because it's like the grandmother of, I don't know, this is supposed to be like, not a prequel exactly, but it is supposed to explain the events that happened even before the first movie. I don't know. It's trying to really dig deep into the lore, which I feel like is maybe reaching a little.
Yeah.
It's trying to do, I guess, some of like what Scream has done. Because didn't Scream do that? Where they kind of dig back and like the newer Screams, you know?
Of sorts, yeah.
Anyway.
They don't, well, thank God with Scream, the lore doesn't like exist like that. So the way they did it was like, oh, this new character is like Billy Loomis's daughter. But that's only that you can't really like give lore to Ghostface because that's not what Scream is about. Thank God.
Yeah.
But that's like if you were to add lore to Scream, it's like, why would you want to add lore to Final Destination?
I don't know why you want to add, like, I don't know. It's a little confusing, but it's supposed to be, it's called Bloodlines because it's in the family. The family's cursed because the grandmother was supposed to die. I think. Like
Devon Sawa's character's family from the first one?
I see. I haven't seen the first one, but it wasn't a plane situation.
You haven't seen the first one?
No. I know. It's shocking.
Have you seen the second one?
Maybe. I definitely saw the third one.
That's the roller coaster one.
Yeah.
Have you seen the second one's the one where the logs?
Yes, I've seen the second. I think I started watching at the second one. Yeah.
Huh. The first one's good.
Yeah.
Another comfort watch. Like when I'm sick. Yeah.
I might watch it soon.
It's good.
I don't know. There was like a Final Destination moment in Ally Mcbeal.
What?
A little bit. Well, not really, but she dreams about a plane crash.
Oh, I remember that episode.
I was like, wait, what is going to happen? But it was a dream. So,
do you think Ally Mcbeal can see the future? What are all her hallucinations about? What are her dreams about? What is the dancing baby about? Is it just her biological clock?
Is it? I know that's what I thought Renee did a good job of psychoanalyzing her. And then someone else also said the same thing to her. Like, oh, like, well, they said to confront your hallucination. you know, which I think makes sense. Like,
How
as
do you
advice,
confront it?
I guess you just run up to it. You just tackle the baby. I don't know.
Smother the baby?
Yeah.
But that baby's the funnest part of the show.
I know. Yeah.
You have to coexist with the baby. You'd have to dance with the baby.
Just dance with the baby. Yeah. Don't destroy the baby.
Oh. Which, it's insane that that's like even a plot point where like I'm like times have changed. Like I don't think I've like seriously heard about the biological clock.
No.
It's just something like someone older says once, but
Yeah. But they do kind of, I feel like they do hint at some things in the show. Like they go to a wedding at some point and they talk about like getting married by a certain age or like yeah, like having kids at a certain age. And I think that's interesting, you know, that they're kind of addressing that. I don't know, in the 90s. But yeah, that was like a thing in the 90s, apparently.
Yeah.
From the shows that I've seen.
Yeah. They kind of, it's interesting to think about, and I guess now is a good time to bring up the Time magazine article. But the 90s is a very interesting time because it's, I don't want to say this with authority because I was a baby in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I have no authority on this.
You were that dancing baby.
I was a dancing baby in 1998. So I don't really have authority on it. But it seems like the 90s were a really interesting time because it's the last decade of the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
All this technology, all these like the sexual revolution has happened, you know, people of color get more rights. You know, we're not segregated anymore. We're, you know, women's rights. They're working now. Everyone is, you know, supposedly equal. There's a lot of, I mean, we were going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Like, but it's a very interesting like thing to think about the late 90s in context because it is like feminism. It's still like 1970 in like all the women's movement, like second wave feminism stuff happened only 20 years prior.
Yeah.
So that's like in our mind, like if it happened in 2005.
That's crazy.
So if we're thinking about it in those terms, there's been a lot of progress.
Yeah.
In the 90s. Like we don't have, or in the 90s, we wouldn't have this like I get why third wave feminism is like feminism being like, oh yeah, we're equal now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need to worry. Pack your bags. You know, like we're done. We don't need feminism anymore. We've got it. Now we're going to be, you know, cool. And then things just start slipping out of our hands. And now we're in 2025.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think about that in context.
It is. And according, something that stuck out to me in this magazine article, in the Time article, was because I think this was in, let's see, was this 98? Yeah.
It came out June 29th, 1998.
So in 98, they're saying that the average female worker in America still earns just 76 cents for every dollar that a man earns up to. So it's like, that's interesting to me. I mean, if you're talking about equality, it's not quite there yet.
No.
So.
And then I feel like, did it never get better? Because even growing up, like even in the 2010s, I remember, don't you, hearing about women making cents less, you know, like that difference. Like I've heard that
about statistic. Since, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because this literally is dated, like, yeah, I don't know. That's really wild to me.
So as much as I think Ally Mcbeal is a fun show and it's not that deep,
yeah,
it is interesting to think about it in the context of feminism. And it's not like Ally Mcbeal is to blame, but I do understand the Gloria Steinem era school of thought of being like, we should not take our feet off their necks. You know, like we still have to be fighting for equality and feminism is still important.
Yeah, I thought what was interesting in the show, there's a few times where there's some of the male characters that are like, well, this is just the way it is. And either you accept it or you don't. Like, I think there's an episode where Georgia is told to move to like a corporate office situation. Something, she has to leave the office she's working at for whatever reason because her boss says that his wife is threatened by her for some reason.
They're always threatened by each other on the show, but
that's so weird. And they're not even, it's not like they're not having an affair or anything. Like, it's just like the silliest thing. But they also talk a lot about how there's like these cases like where you know, women can have like a, what is it? Like there's grounds for like a wrongful termination kind of situation, like things like that. But she's in that kind of situation where, you know, she decides to sue. And I guess Billy, because they're in separate, I'm trying to think, trying to think of all like the legal terms, you know what I mean? Because I thought they were in the same firm, but they're not at the beginning. And then they end up, I think it's Richard who's the head of.
Richard kind of creates for these lawyers like a land of misfit toys.
He does. Yes. I love him for that.
I do too. He's grown on me as well.
Yeah, I like him. I mean, he has his moments that I'm like, but he always comes around and seems to be somewhat self-aware anyway.
Yeah. He's always like rooting for the underdog though. Cause I think it's interesting that the character of Richard like takes on Ally when she's, you know, fired for suing, and he takes on all of these people that have been wronged but that are really good at their work, but he also takes on clients.
Yeah, it's like crazy case.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you're definitely guilty, come on, we gotcha.
Right? I love it. I love the tenacity.
I do too.
But yeah, like Georgia, she ends up suing her firm, and I think they call him the Biscuit for whatever reason. That John, whatever, I can't remember what his last name is, but Peter McNichol, the nerdy guy.
Oh yeah.
Whose nose whistles.
Yeah.
He says you can either like you can, or maybe it's Billy. I don't remember who says it actually, but they're like, you can either fight this and try to win like the case for like womankind or something, or you can benefit yourself and just take the money and, you know.
Yeah.
But she decides to like fight it. And I think she ends up, I don't remember what happens, if she gets more money or if he just hires her. So I think she gets some type of settlement or something, or they award her something. I can't remember. But my point is, it's like there's those things going on, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
they definitely at least tackle it. Yeah. Maybe lightly. Maybe they like tap it. Maybe they don't tackle it like Ally should do to confront her baby demons.
They dance with it.
Yeah, they like dance with baby. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Well, this Time magazine cover, which it came into my consciousness a couple years ago on like Instagram or something, and I had no context at the time. And now I'm still grappling with it.
It's a very bold claim, I feel.
So bold. So how would you describe this Time magazine cover, which the headline is Feminism Dead?
Yeah, well, it's got Susan B. Anthony, Betty Friedan, Gloria Steinem, and Ally Mcbeal. Which it's like, okay, 3 of these women really did something.
They paved the
way. They're real life people. And then you got a character, like a TV show character, which I don't really understand how, like, are they trying to say that maybe she's putting feminism like behind, like, are we moving backwards because of the show? Because I mean, I feel like it's a little unfair to blame it all on Ally Mcbeal. Like, to me, the show comes off as like a reflection of the times, you know, and maybe the short skirt. I mean, that statement really didn't help though. Like, just to get, but it is interesting because like there's, like at the very first few episodes, there's that one dude that she has the sexual harassment case against.
Yeah.
You know? But he's also, when she joins Richard's firm, she goes up against him in court as like, they're both lawyers. And I have a point, I promise.
Oh yeah. I'm all ears.
But he mentions like the media, you know, and he's arguing because there's like a newscaster that she's defending who gets fired from her job for being like older. And I guess they're arguing like ageism and stuff, but he's like trying to talk about like the media and what people want to see, and you know.
Yeah. Do you think in those early episodes maybe Ally Mcbeal like set a precedent for like, oh, we are pushing boundaries,
we're trying to tackle the real issues, possibly, yeah,
or like we're a feminist show in a subtle way?
I think so. That's what I got from it, but I don't know. This article says different.
Did you read this article?
I did. I read most of it.
It's actually very good. The article is written by Jania Belafonte. It's Feminism, It's All About Me, which is in that Time magazine. And they are, actually she makes excellent points about feminism, and
Yeah.
it's stuff that contextualizes the late 90s for me in a really interesting, in a good way.
Right. Like the vagina monologues.
Who knew? I did that in college. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was revolutionary at all, but
it was in 98 or
Yeah.
96, whenever it came out. And for years after, there's a big event. She writes about a big event happening where, wait, who was it that she said? There was like some celebrities.
Uma Thurman was there for the vagina monologue.
I don't know. That's like my takeaway from this article.
And see, my takeaway was that there's a lot to be said about feminism in the late 90s anyways. You know, at that time we were dealing with the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal, and a lot of, you know, feminists, especially like Gloria Steinem, and just a lot of Democrats and females in general came out, and they were, you know, like, it's frat boy behavior, but we shouldn't demonize Bill Clinton, which in retrospect I agree, especially now where we probably shouldn't have impeached him. Yeah, he did lie under oath, but he gave us a great LimeWire soundbite.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Exactly. But also, like, he didn't do anything bad for his country. He helped his country in a lot of ways. In the 90s, we were back in business, baby, especially in 1997. From what I've read, everything was really great under Bill Clinton. He played the sax, too.
I think that's what it was. We all turned a blind eye because he was so cool.
Well, but he, you know, we weren't in turmoil in the
I know what
late
you're saying.
90s.
Yeah.
And yeah, he got a blowjob, and there was a, you know, a difference in power, yada yada. But like, I wish we had in 1998. I wish there was a crystal ball to show you what we've put up with.
Yeah.
Now,
I know,
and to be like, you're really gonna really now, really. But this article does put that, like, what's going on in the background.
it does help
in a
to
lot of
have that.
context.
Yeah. It helps, I would say, to have the context.
Yeah, what did you think about this article? Or
Well,
what were some standouts to you?
I thought it was interesting they brought up Bridget Jones's diary. You know, they're kind of talking about, I guess, how, you know, I guess these women like Ally Mcbeal and Bridget Jones, how they're just trying to find a man, basically.
Yeah.
And there's more depth to, you know, they're kind of not happy the way that these women are being portrayed and the message it's sending, I guess, because of that.
I can see that. That is totally fair.
Yeah.
I think. Also, I think now that I've seen Bridget Jones 1 and the last one, Bridget Jones, so much more interesting, like, without a man. Like, a lot of these movies and TV shows that are like Ally Mcbeal or Bridget Jones, where it is like, I want to find a man. Where it gets fun is when they don't find the man.
I agree.
Like, I never think the getting the man is the fun part.
No, but I'm like, oh, go have a one night stand.
Yeah.
You know, have fun. But yeah, like, you don't really need to worry about that. But
definitely. I wonder if it does set, like, I wonder if it's something that, you know, in our heads
sets a message
or sets a tone.
They say that in the show too, about like the messages from Disney that you get growing up about waiting for a man to come and save you or something. You know, like those kind of, like, the prince I don't know, that kind of stuff. But
yeah, well, see, different generation.
I know,
because like growing up,
I don't want to be no Cinderella
our cheetah girl,
just you rusty
waiting for somebody
to come and set me free.
Banger.
Anyway, that was feminism.
That was feminism. I mean, yeah, I don't, and like, yeah, I'm trying to think of like Disney from our youth. The Emperor's New Groove didn't do. It didn't tackle the big issues.
It didn't. It didn't set us back or push us forward in any way.
Yeah.
Is that like maybe animal rights?
Yeah. Tarzan. Yeah. No, growing up, we had the regurgitated. We were just coming off of the Disney Renaissance. That's the thing about being our age that I think no one talks about. This like zillennial space where like we really didn't get like good bits of culture. We just got people talking about the good bits of culture. Growing up, we were in a Disney princess lull.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
we were in a drought.
When did Ariel come out, though?
1989.
Oh, it was 80s.
1990 or 1991, Belle.
I wonder, though, if Ariel, you could take away a different... Well, you know, maybe she just was manifesting. She wanted legs. She wanted to be human. I mean, the guy was handsome, too.
Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand.
Yeah.
I mean, she gets caught up, but, you know, she figures it out.
That's true. I don't know.
But Ally
on that
would be like a late stage boomer to Gen Xer. So I don't know. I think she's. I'm thinking too deeply onto this, but I would say growing up, we definitely didn't have like. Growing up, it was the age of like feminism. We've conquered it.
Yeah,
and then coming of age. And the Trump administration is really...
It's rough.
That's all I was trying to say. I'm still a little salty.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got promises.
I know.
When we were like teenagers, we got promises.
Yes.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. We've just like tumbled off a hill since.
Yeah.
And this is why we need to bring Ally Mcbeal back. Because we're back where we started.
We are. Yeah. Full circle. We need to have these. I do feel like some of the conversations in the show is like things we could have again. You know, how to conduct yourself in a workplace.
Yes.
You know,
well, they need HR.
They really do need an HR department. But you know, I'm sure it's still kind of relevant or.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just certain things. Even in like how have we really changed? Like I think about that case with the newscaster. I'm like, oh, that stuff's still relevant. Like there's still like ageism, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
100%. I mean, it's so funny. Like, speaking of ageism, didn't Demi Moore just get like most beautiful woman alive or something?
Oh.
She's been in the news recently for like looking great at 60.
Okay.
Which is really funny because the reason why Demi Moore is in the spotlight again is for a movie.
Yes.
About how gross that is and how like
yes.
you deteriorate based on like ageism and the way you look and how it like,
and especially towards women though,
and how it hits us at any age and all ages, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think this show is a little ahead of its time, just a bit.
Yeah.
In some ways.
I think so too. But I am an ally. I do identify as an ally.
Yeah.
Girl, when that girl turned 28.
Whew, started acting a fool.
Oh. But yeah, though this, just to put a pin in the Time article, Miss Belafonte goes in on her. She says, instead, much of feminism has devolved into the silly. It has powerful support for this. A pop culture insistent on offering images of grown single women as frazzled, self-absorbed girls. Which, pin. This is really relevant to us. I mean, 2023 to 2025 has been girl culture.
Yeah.
Grown women. All right. The age of Ally Mcbeal.
Mm-hmm.
We're like girl dinner, girl math. We're infantilizing all of these things. So it is really interesting that in 1998, this writer is like, Ally Mcbeal and like the media have infantilized us. Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe this isn't as maybe I retract my statement. Can I retract my statement?
I don't know though, because can't we have that duality? Can't we be 28 and a successful working woman?
Yeah.
But can we also dance to Super Freak in our PJs, please? Like
True.
Ally Mcbeal in that one episode? Like,
I completely agree.
You know, I think there are some ways that girl culture or girlhood has infantilized us, but it's also like we do need joy. So where's that line? Especially like we don't have kids.
Yeah.
It's not in the future. Like Ally, you know, besides the dancing baby of her imagination, she doesn't have kids. Like, what are you going to do?
Also, if guys can be accused of just being like frat, what is it? What is the
like
term?
Frat boys
like
forever.
Yeah. Wait, there's boys will be boys. Why not girls?
Girls can be girls. And also, like, let's be honest. Times have changed so much where, like, if you can accept that, like, a 28-year-old man can play his video games and like go to his like Magic the Gathering gatherings.
Yeah.
Like a 28-year-old woman can also do girl math and have girl dinner.
Yeah. True.
You know, so I don't know. Give us something is what I'm trying to say, but I think that's interesting that she's talking about that in this article. She says, Ally Mcbeal is the most popular female character on television. The show, for the few who may have missed it, focuses on ditzy 28-year-old Ivy League Boston litigator who never seems in need of the body-concealing clothing that Northeasterners wear often requires. Ally spends much of her time fantasizing about her ex-boyfriend, who is married and in the next office, and manages to work references to her mangled love life into nearly every summation she delivers. She has fits in supermarkets because there are too few cans of Pringles. She answers the question, why are your problems so much bigger than everyone else's? With the earnest response, because they're mine. When Ally gets any work done, how she keeps her job, why she thinks it's okay to ask her secretary why she didn't give her a birthday present, they are all mysteries. Ally probably wouldn't seem so offensive as an addition to the cast of Seinfeld, but because this is a 1 hour drama filled with pseudo Melissa Etheridge music and emotional pretense, we are meant to take her problems more seriously than George Costanza's. Ally Mcbeal is a mess. She's like a little animal, notes Nancy Friday, a sex-positive feminist if there ever was one. You want to put her on a leash.
Ooh.
And what does Ally's creator, David Kelly, have to say? Oh, this is before the E. What does Ally's creator, David Kelly, have to say about Ally as a feminist? He says she's not a hard, stringent feminist out of the 60s and 70s. She's all for women's rights, but she doesn't want to lead the charge at her own emotional expense. Ally, though, is in charge of nothing, least of all her emotional life.
Whew.
Which...
You have been read, Ally Mcbeal.
Yeah. The library is open. I will say, in the 2025 lens, it's just like, to sum it up, Ally Mcbeal comes from the Taylor Swift School of Feminism.
Mm-hmm. Also, this show did make me think of Seinfeld a little bit. She's a little Jerry.
She is.
You know?
She really could fit in with them. And I don't know. It's like I'm so torn on the whole feminism of it all.
Yeah. Do you think they're like a little harsh on some things about this? Like the part where they're like, you want to put her on a leash? Like that comes off a little strong to me. Like that doesn't sound very feminist.
100%. But also, Ally Mcbeal in the first half of season 1 especially is insane.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't come away with it being like, oh, she's anti-feminist. But my question more is like, why is she even in this conversation at all? Because she's just manic. She is like a feral animal a lot of the time.
She is.
So it is interesting that at this time it was like, is this a new feminist icon? This is the woman of Gen X poster child.
That's how people were looking at it, I guess. Yeah, because now I'm like, I don't like, I didn't go into this thinking she's the poster of feminism, but maybe at that time when the show came out, she would have been.
Maybe. And I mean, she tackles, like, this show does tackle a lot of things that I'm sure for like 1997, 1998 were just like,
if you were working woman at the time and you're like watching this every Friday night or whenever
you could relate.
Yeah.
I mean, it oddly makes me like, Ally Mcbeal to me is one of those like mom shows. Like my mom would have probably loved this show.
I wonder if she's watched it. I wonder what her thoughts are. We should ask.
Call her up right now. I know. So actually, let me see. I'm not going to call her, but she might answer a cheeky little text. Any other thoughts on Ally Mcbeal?
I kind of thought that Billy wasn't all that cute.
Who's Billy? Is he the
exactly
one with the
my
receding
point.
hairline?
Exactly. He's her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, Gil Bellows.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just from the title card, you know? Because he gets an and credit. Who is Gil Bellows?
I just thought of something. Speaking of credits, you know how in the intro of the show, it's all just Ally Mcbeal. It'll say like all these actors' names and then cut to Ally Mcbeal's face. You know how usually in a show when it's like put the actors' names, a lot of times it is the actor as well.
In season 2, they start to do
They
that.
do start? Okay, because that was a little
Finally.
cringe, but I wonder if that's because Ally's so self-absorbed.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. You know what I was thinking?
Is that like on purpose? Was that
to
genius?
play devil's advocate? Like, what if this is all in Ally's imagination?
It's all a dream. The Vanilla Sky effect.
Yeah, what if she's just living out her Vanilla Sky?
What if she's not even a lawyer? She's what? I don't know.
Just, yeah.
It's all
She
just
works
her
at
fantasy.
McDonald's.
She works at McDonald's.
But, yeah, what if this is just like a reoccurring dream she has? Maybe that's why everything's so surreal and fantastical. And they have these co-ed bathrooms where they just fraternize all the time.
That does feel like a dream. I did feel a little bit triggered that one episode where she like sits on Georgia, who's already in the bathroom. She's in the stall. That is like a nightmare triggering.
It is a nightmare.
Yeah. I've had dreams. Not exactly. I've never sat on anyone in my dreams, but I've had like those public restroom dreams where you just can't find. Like it's like all of the stall things are down. You know what I mean?
Oh. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't have a lot of bathroom nightmares.
Watch
Thank
me have
God.
one now. I'm like,
you know what, though, really sticks with me as far as bathrooms go? That scene in the first Harry Potter where the troll guy is in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That does give me the creeps.
Scary.
Also, our elementary school, like private school bathrooms.
It looked a lot like that.
Oh. Are you familiar with global Village Coffeehouse aesthetic?
I think I have an idea of what that looks like.
'Cause
is it like the swirlies, right?
Mhm.
Like the warm swirlies, like it says espresso or whatever. Like it's it's what I think of like internet cafes or
yeah, like if you Google internet cafes, it's like that global Village Coffeehouse aesthetic.
I love this aesthetic, to be honest. I always thought this would live forever because I remember seeing remnants of it as a kid in certain places, and I remember thinking, "Wow, this is so." I don't know how to explain it, but it really hit me as like being something artsy, but creating a whole vibe. Maybe because it's really warm toned for the most part, and like the
very like
the font.
90s mom
Yeah.
energy. But Ally Mcbeal kind of reminds me of the global Village Coffeehouse aesthetic.
Definitely.
I can't put my finger on why though.
I think it's the color scheme of the show, like because I feel like a lot of the there's like muted tones or like earth tone, or maybe not earth tones, but like I don't know, they wear like reds and browns, and there's something about it. They look like they could just be in a scene. The characters could just be in a scene of the global coffee house.
Maybe also like especially Renee and Ally
Mm-hmm.
just exude Nora Jones, Lilith Fair listening vibes.
Yeah.
You know? Like Ally, I couldn't picture Ally Mcbeal listening to Limp Bizkit, but I could picture her getting down with Rusted Roots, like on my way. Or she'd hear You Oughta Know by Alanis Morissette and be like, this is the edgiest thing.
Yeah, I could see Ally Mcbeal listening to You Oughta Know and really like in her room, just feeling it.
Or like I'm Like a Bird, Nelly Furtado.
Definitely. She can't be held down.
But I thought you'd get a kick out of this aesthetic because...
Oh, yeah. As soon as I saw it on the doc, I knew exactly what it meant because I went on my own rabbit hole, like, I don't know, like a few months ago on this aesthetic because I'm like, oh, there's a name for it? I didn't know there was a name for it. Because you just, you know, absorb it through the years and you just take notes in your brain like, oh, yeah, that's that look because it's kind of like an art style.
It is. It is an art style. Yeah, I guess it overlapped with the Memphis design / Memphis light aesthetic. And it's interesting because this was like a counter to what we were talking about the other week with like Vanilla Sky. So it's like the counter programming to the Y2K futurism or Gen X soft club aesthetics.
Yeah, because it came around at that time, but it looks kind of like to me, it has like, I don't know. It's interesting. It has a lot of primary colors, a lot of
like curly fonts.
There's almost like some tribalist depictions, like some styles. And then it's also like Cuban. Like I feel like it combines a lot of like old school, like art history elements.
Yeah.
But in a way. Maybe that's why too, is because it does have like an earthy, like it feels like
earth or like real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love it.
I do too. It's that song Sunny Came Home?
Yeah.
If Sunny Came Home was like a design aesthetic, this is what it would be,
Definitely. It's how I expect coffee shops to always look.
Right?
They don't always.
But sometimes Panera breads.
Panera bread
like
is
it.
completely the global coffee house look.
Not a marketing expert, but Panera, next move, go full into GVC, as they call it on Wiki Fandom. Get full into it.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely have a few of the paintings, like the guy with the bread. And
yeah. The Harris Teeter logo.
Holy shit.
I think for 2026 we need to just lock in on GVC.
GVC. Let's do it. Yeah. As a
counterculture. Let's play the bongos.
And in response to like AI and all that stuff. Like
get natural in quotes. Bring it back to the roots in quotes.
Yeah. Definitely. A little man playing like the pipes or something.
World music. Bring that back.
Yeah. I found some good world music CDs at a thrift store not too long ago.
Did you purchase them?
Yeah. They were only like $1 a piece or something. It was like really cheap, and I don't know. But I got to get my CD player out to really listen.
Yes, bust it out.
Did Mom ever get back to you? No.
You
have to report back later.
We will. We'll report. She probably was like, no. But she really liked Seinfeld. So, my guess is because Mom was a feminist. She really didn't like Ally Mcbeal. That's my guess. She was probably just like, in 1998, she was probably watching Friends and Seinfeld and Mad About You. And that's it.
Gotcha.
And being a working woman.
Yeah, she didn't have time to watch Ally Mcbeal.
Like Ally Mcbeal. She probably was like, well, I'm living this bitch.
Yeah, I don't want to be reminded.
She's like, yeah, gender inequality. Crazy.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe there was like a freedom. I don't know. I want to go back to the 90s.
Yeah.
I want to go to the 90s. I say go back. Like, I want to go back just to have to live a whole life again. No thanks. But I'd love to go back at the age I am now.
Definitely. We could turn it up. We could go to a club.
Listen to Believe by Cher.
That's my dream. Like, if I could have one act in a time machine, I would go to back to the 90s in a club, Believe by Cher. I hope it would be playing. I would have to find the exact coordinates. I don't know how I'd figure this all out. Maybe I would just be in the 90s, pick a date, go to all the clubs I can.
You'd have to go. Okay, if you were gonna get granular, then you got to take
when
a
it
time
released.
machine. Yeah, when did Cher's Believe
release? The month it came out or something.
Okay, so you would have to take a hot tub time machine back to So Cher's Belief was released on October 19th, 1998. But, okay, if we're really thinking about it, you know what? The safest bet is early 1999.
Okay.
New York.
Definitely.
Go to every gay club.
Yes.
That's the best bet. That's my... I think that's...
I'm taking notes for when they make time travel possible.
Yeah.
My first act.
I just have a feeling that'll work, Brie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I have faith that you'd find it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyway, what would you do in the 90s?
That.
The same?
Honestly,
come with me.
And then afterwards, go to a coffee house.
Yeah.
Get some global village, what is it, GVC? Global Village Coffeehouse aesthetic through our veins.
Yeah. Have sip some Java.
Yes.
A cup of Joe.
Yeah.
And
go to Starbucks and complain like in a Joe from You've Got Mail. Meanwhile, feeling like you've really yearned for days like this.
I know. I miss I went to Starbucks the other day. It was so. It's just I wasn't impressed. No. Past couple times have been just meh. Yeah. Sad.
Honestly, now that I'm on my matcha grind a lot more, not bad. I don't mind Starbucks' matcha.
Okay. Maybe I'll go for the matcha next time. Their espresso was just... I don't know. I don't think the shots were timed right.
Go back there and tell them what's what.
I will. Ally Mcbeal style. I'll throw a fit.
Maybe if Starbucks went back to the whatever they had in 1998 going on.
I think so. I think they just need to dial it back to more coffee. I don't know. I know they're supposed to try to make some changes. Who knows? We'll see.
We'll stay abreast from our Starbucks correspondent.
For
But
sure.
any final thoughts on Ally Mcbeal before we bid adieu? Bid adieu to our recording space as well.
Oh, yeah. Damn. Well, this has been, I want to hold space for this recording space. Okay,
Amen.
That's enough. I don't know. I really enjoyed Ally Mcbeal. I don't know. I might still keep watching it just to see where it goes.
Yeah.
You know?
I have an odd fondness for Ally Mcbeal. Like, I respect it.
Same. Yeah. I respect it.
I also respect that, like, if you described Ally Mcbeal to us 3 weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
and been like, this is what's going to happen, it's all crazy.
I'm kind of glad I didn't know a lot going into, or like any plot points really, because I feel like it's definitely fun to go into not knowing anything.
100%.
Like, I don't know. I've had a blast.
Me too. I felt like a 90s anthropologist.
Uh-huh.
I felt like I've had to be like a connoisseur of context to quote Blink Check, you know?
Mm.
I've really tried to lock in on Ally Mcbeal.
Try to analyze it.
Try to analyze it just like our neurotic gal Ally would do.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well,
guess
that's all.
I guess that's all. I've enjoyed chatting with you.
Same.
I've enjoyed chatting with you.
I've enjoyed chatting.
No, this was really fun.
Yeah, we should do it again.
We should do it again sometime. And next time we'll be in a new space.
I know.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can sign out with some Vonda Shepherd.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah. Take it away, Brie.
Just start playing it. Just start singing it.
Yeah, you should sing it.
I mean, I don't
Oh,
even.
you're getting the lyrics?
Yeah. I mean, I have to.
Karaoke version.
Yeah. You said to start singing it.
I like this. Let me see if I can get a karaoke version of the Ally Mcbeal theme song on
Oh, it's called Searching My Soul.
I'm into it. Okay, let's go.
I've been down this road, walking the line that's painted by pride.
Ooh, ooh.
And I made mistakes in my life that I just can't hide.
Sing it, Brie.
Oh, I believe I'm ready for what love has to bring. Gotta get myself together. Now I'm ready to sing. I've been searching my soul tonight. I know there's so much more to life. Now I know I can shine a light. Find my way back home.
Oh, whoa.
I think that's all I got in me. It's really difficult because I kind of forget how her voice is kind of deep and soulful.
So sultry.
Mine's not.
It sounds like a cross between Walk With You and I've Had the Time of My Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much.
I've had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you, Brie.
Me too. I owe it all to you.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for listening.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.